my name is Brenda Ramirez. Like so many of you, when I think of who I am and what should follow after I say, hi, my name is, I have found that I don't fit neatly into one phrase or one little box. Because like all of you, I am many different things. I am a mom, wife, daughter, granddaughter, sister, aunt, friend, and mentor. I am active in my church. I actively volunteer in my home community of Lakeland and Greater Polk County. I often take on leadership roles in nonprofits. I am a full-time litigating attorney. I am also an active volunteer and leader in the legal community. I am the current president of the Polk Association for Women Lawyers and am involved in the Florida Bar Committee on Voluntary Bar Associations. And by the way, as I'm recording this for you to enjoy during the Lead Summit, I am 39 weeks pregnant. In November, I was honored with the Young Professional Athena Award presented by the Lakeland Chamber of Commerce. The Athena Award honors women who strive towards the highest levels of personal and professional accomplishment, who excel in their chosen field, devote time and energy to their community in a meaningful way, and forge paths of leadership for other women to follow. It was serendipitous that two of the commissioners from the Florida Commission of the Status of Women heard me speak that day, Commissioners Kennedy and Barrett. Shortly after the Athena Award presentation, I was asked to share my story with you as a reflection on resilience, perseverance, service, and leadership. As I was thinking about what I should share with you today, I focused on the Athena Award leadership model. Live authentically, learn constantly, advocate fiercely, and act courageously. So let's dig in a little bit into my story. My paternal grandparents were from Texas. In the late 60s, my grandpa Ramirez, who was a crew leader, started bringing migrant farm workers, including his own family, from Texas to Polk County to work the orange harvest. In the late 70s, my mother and her family started working for my grandpa Ramirez. My parents fell in love, got married, and a year later, I was born. For the first part of my life, my parents continued to work as migrant farm workers. My mother, realizing that this was not the life for our family, insisted that we settle down in one place, and ultimately Polk County became our forever home. My parents sacrificed a lot to give our family stability. Throughout my childhood and formative years, I remember my dad working 2, sometimes 3 jobs. My mom also always worked full-time. Even though we didn't have a lot of money, I had a very happy childhood. My parents filled my life with a lot of love, and they had a way of making everything exciting for me. It really wasn't until first grade that I had any clue that we were poor or that my race was something that mattered to other people. You have to realize that in the early 80s, there wasn't a very big Hispanic population here in Polk County. I was one of only a handful of Hispanic children in my entire elementary school. As the school year went on, I was bringing home perfect grades on all my schoolwork, but then report cards came out, and for some reason I was failing. My mom took all of my graded schoolwork to the principal and asked, "What is happening? Why is my daughter failing?" I've had no indication that there was a problem until now. After a lot of meetings, what came to light was that unfortunately the teacher was purposefully failing the only 2 minority students in her class. Watching my mom advocate for me during that whole process planted a seed in me. I didn't know it at the time, but this was the beginning of my passion for fiercely advocating for others. Education was also very important to my parents. I watched my mother slowly but surely work towards becoming a registered nurse. And she did this while working full-time, taking care of me, being active in her church and her community. And by the way, she was pregnant in nursing school. Watching my mom earn her nursing degree when I was 10 years old emphasized to me why my parents pushed me so hard in school. I experienced firsthand how education directly improved our family's financial picture. We were able to buy a nice home, travel, and experience more of the world. And my parents were able to invest in their financial future by investing in real estate properties. So as the years went by, I buried my nose in school books and studied hard. I graduated from the first international baccalaureate class at Bartow High School. It took some time, but I graduated with a Bachelor's of Arts from the University of North Florida. And in 2010, I graduated cum laude from Florida State University College of Law. By the way, that baby my mom had in nursing school is my sister, Dr. Ramirez. She's currently completing a pulmonology fellowship at LSU. As you can tell, the seed to constantly learn was planted early on within me and my sister by my parents. Sacrifice, hard work, and education are the factors I can identify that have advanced my family's stories by leaps and bounds. Can you just imagine starting your life off as migrant farm workers to now having two grown daughters, one of which is a lawyer and the other is a doctor? And through it all, service to others was always a top priority to my parents. I remember spending my high school weekends as a candy striper at Winter Haven Hospital, teaching Sunday school, and helping deliver meals and food to the needy. Those seeds of advocacy, education, and service have only continued to grow within me as I grow older. I personally cannot be fulfilled without them. I am fortunate that the legal profession at its core is a profession of advocacy. It is also a profession where I can keep learning every single day. I am lucky to have the most supportive husband who understands my need to perform acts of service for others. And he is the one who challenges me every single day to live authentically. Living authentically requires us to embrace every part of ourselves, to speak our truth, to open our minds and open our hearts. Through this, we learn our true strengths, we learn to practice gratitude, and we learn to live and act courageously. This is my background. It's clearly not my whole story, but it is the cornerstone of who I am. And as you can tell, none of it fits neatly into one little box or one little phrase. All of the parts of my life, past and present, have become my story, and it is what makes me who I am. So what is it about my story that motivates me to be so involved, to take action, to lead, and to mentor other women and young girls? Truthfully, my most intimate motivation is that through it all, I never met or knew a professional woman that looks like me, that had a similar life experience as me. There was no one I could look up to that could help guide me. Of course, my parents did what they could, but I had to figure it out all on my own, from the SAT to college applications, FAFSA, all the way through to the LSAT and the bar exam. If it was what I wanted, I had to figure it out. And so has my sister. She's navigated her way through medical school all the way to her current pulmonology fellowship. Imagine your life beginning so far behind the starting line where everybody else gets to start. What would have helped you? But as I look at my life now and really dive into all those parts of me that make me who I am, I see that all those generations of hard work and sacrifice have put me in a position of privilege. We all have privilege, and that privilege looks different for every single one of us. So my challenge to you is to examine and ask yourself, what is my privilege? How can I use my privilege to reach out and help others, to lead others, to advocate for others? What is my motivation? What am I passionate about? Am I living my most authentic life? What are my fears? And how can I let go of them in order to act courageously? As I've done this examination on my life, I found that I have a great passion for creating a network of professional women who support each other. And I have a great passion for mentoring young Hispanic women trying to figure out what they're going to do with their life after high school and navigating that process. And when I tried to find a place to fulfill those passions, I found that it didn't exist. So, what did I do? I acted courageously and created that space. I became one of the founding members of the Polk Association for Women Lawyers. We are now a group of over 80 members of women and men, lawyers, and judges. During our very first year, we advocated fiercely and opened the very first lactation room at the Bartow Courthouse. Through the years, we've created a network of lawyers who support each other personally and professionally. I also reached out to local contacts in schools and churches and found young Hispanic women who were in need of a mentor. I sought them out. One of the first young women who I started mentoring, she was in middle school when I started mentoring her, is now applying to law school. I am so proud to have been a part of her story and her journey, to have been able to be there for her and continue to be there for her. I am someone that she can talk to about her educational path, her family, and her life experiences. Just like there is a space within you for each part of who you are, there is a space for you to advocate for what you are passionate about. And if you can't find that place, act courageously and make that space for yourself. And whatever phase you find yourself in along your journey, make sure to bring your whole authentic self, each and every part of what makes you who you are. I want to thank you for participating in this virtual summit, and I want to thank you for listening to a part of my story and my journey. I hope that it has helped you find some inspiration to live authentically, learn constantly, advocate fiercely, and act courageously. I am an open book. If any of you have any questions or would like to talk to me further after listening to this today, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the summit.